That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about.
Because if you gonna put something out,
Yes, sir.
put it out, man.
That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking. Word. All right. Now, audience, you all are tuning in to Around the Herd live. So you all are watching us essentially figure things out. So given that, Around the Herd live, Sir Bass, do you hear an echo?
I do. Indeed,
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, figured.
Sometimes
All right.
echoes are needed, though. Repetition for effect. Good say.
All right. I think I figured it out. Give me 1 second. Let's see. I think if I do this, we'll be good.
Okay.
All right.
Like we're live in front of a studio audience.
We are. I mean, it's only like the whole world tuning in right now. Quite literally.
I see our numbers going up. We currently at 2 billion. Yeah.
That would be something. That would be something. But Sir Bass, man, welcome back to Around the Herd live,
Yes,
my brother.
Welcome.
It's good to see you.
Welcome. Likewise.
Appreciate you.
And it was funny thinking about it is that I've only actually we've only kicked it in person once and we built this thing.
Isn't that something?
Oh man, connectivity is a beautiful thing, dude.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. We are proving that it is possible. There are truly no excuses that anyone can make about starting a business, having a team that is distributed all across the country. Mm-hmm. All of our meetings are virtual. Our show is virtual. We raised from 140 something investors.
136 plus. I know that for sure.
136 plus investors online.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Yeah. It's called believing in something, man. Simple as that.
It's called believing in something. Wow. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, I appreciate you for believing in the vision, contributing to the mission of what we are up to. And we are doing some things, my brother. And it is truly just the beginning.
Indeed it is. That's the beauty of it. And that's the beauty of keeping a dream, even if you don't know where it's going to come from and whatnot. Because that was just one of the beauties of going to Howard and Jim. I was like, bro, my thought with going here is I need to be around people who are at the same location in life of just like, hey, I need further education to get to where I think I want to go or I would hope to be. Right. Mm-hmm. So sure enough, we land at the same table, same idea. Yeah. You know what? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
We are here for the same purpose. And man, it's a beautiful thing just to see other people, buy into the mission, the vision, and contribute to it as well, through, monetary funds, through investments, through follows, just encouragement on social media. Yeah. All of it has been great. So shout out to our community, the herd. Likewise. We appreciate y'all.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But Sir Bass, how was your week, man? It's almost Friday.
It was. My week was lovely. You know what I did? I took some time off. It was real hot out the gate with dropping these facts on people, but also kind of burning the candle at both ends. So I was like, you know what? Let me take a step back, reassess real fast, look at how you're moving. How do you improve it? How do you do better? And hop right back into it. So I'm thinking tomorrow we'll start back with the facts and making sure they are coming out in a system that works for both people. It comes out on time. It's good stuff. And I'm not trying to stay until 3:00 trying to drop something. So
Heard. So for those who don't know, what facts were you dropping and where were you dropping them at?
So I was putting in my Instagram story at BeJustWin on Instagram. And every February I like to bring Black facts to people because I think for one, it's just inspiration to understand where you came from, who you come from, who was there before you got there, who laid the landscape for you to help do what you're doing now. I think that just helps with your purpose. So, and also I just like doing research and understanding. Yeah, like history. History is fun for me because also it's fun, but it's also like if you don't understand history, it's gonna repeat itself. So you might as well, understand where it's coming from and where things come from. So this year, I think this is like the 5th or 6th year I've done Black Facts. So it started off just on
Oh, wow.
Snapchat. So moved it over to Instagram now.
Hmm.
And the thing that I'm doing this year is play your role. So for the simple fact of we have, yeah, and it's playing off actors and historically black actresses as well, of just like, hey, there's people who started out and they were the first, and because they've played their role, other people are now allowed to play their role.
Hmm.
Like you becoming who you're supposed to be helps other people be who they're supposed to be.
Yep.
So it's also similar to coaching to me. Like as I'm doing it, it's also coming back to me
Yeah.
of just like, yeah, man, you have to continue to be you so other people can be them.
Hmm.
So that's where the idea of play your role came from. So this year, just going through and giving you again just black actors and actresses to help one go through their story and showing all the characters they became, all the stories that they told in order to inspire other people to be them. Like,
Yep.
uh, and me personally, when Denzel Washington played Frank Lucas in American Gangster, right? I watched that, and not necessarily that you want to be Frank Lucas, but you see an image of a person who can go on and like change life for his family or things like that. Granted, that's a negative scope, but there's positives and negatives too. But how well you can play something, even that well,
Hmm.
makes something or somebody want to be something different and change
Yeah.
and be able to touch lives that way. So,
Right. No, absolutely. Would you say Denzel was your favorite individual that you've covered so far?
favorite individual, Denzel, like, and I actually just dropped Denzel this week. Denzel, it was so, I don't know why, like when Denzel's acclaim when we were growing up was so huge and just massive. Like he seemed similar to like when LeBron James was coming out, like God's gift to acting,
Mm-hmm.
but not really. Like he was playing basketball in college and then transitioned to acting,
Mm.
right? So the only reason why he figured out he was a good actor is because he took a year off from Fordham University, and he was an overnight counselor at a YMCA summer camp, and they did like a staff talent show there. And after he did it, like one of the other counselors was like, "Hey man, like you're pretty good at acting. You should probably go do acting."
Mm.
Right. And to see that and being in my situation from being a student athlete or college football player at Texas A&M, and being able to know that, hey, even though your whole life you thought you were an athlete, you can do something completely different that has no
Yeah.
and it doesn't have an athletic endeavor. So just know
Yeah.
that, I guess, versatility within a person and just our journeys as we grow in
Yeah.
life in general, just to know that like, hey, you could be completely this direction. I think you're going to go to the league and then pivot and
Right.
do something else completely different at the same, if not bigger magnitude. So
Hmm. No, that's powerful, man.
yeah.
A few things. You reminded me of a few things. There's this one quote. I'm not sure where to credit it, but it says, "I am because we are." Right.
Ooh.
Yeah, and paying homage to, the past, your history, your
Mhm.
ancestors, but also, the community that has helped you get to the point
Yeah.
where you are today, right? So
Mhm.
there's that. And then also, a lot of times we talk about like what's expected of us, especially as black men,
Yeah.
right? Like, oftentimes it is sports. That is the default, right? You're supposed to
Yeah.
be good at this sport, and that's going to take you far in life and
Mhm.
whatever. But there's another saying that black people are not a monolith. And, the reality is no person is a monolith. We are
Yeah.
multifaceted
Mhm.
individuals, incredibly gifted and talented in many different ways. And we can express those talents and gifts however we choose. So,
Mhm.
sports might be the avenue for one point in time, or
Yep.
acting might be the avenue for one point in time, or maybe you decide to do both at the same time. The reality is it is your life to live. So you just got to live it to the fullest, whatever brings you fulfillment, you should go all in. So
Yep.
that's my message to everybody is just, if you're passionate about something, do that thing. Don't feel like you have to live up to anybody else's expectations.
Oh yeah. Yeah, man. Like that's the because I think just as humans, like we hate being caged up, right? So if you think about a physical cage and you're trying to stay within that cage, like after a while, you're going to get irritated, you're going to get agitated, right? So if you don't live life in such a way that you're outside of this cage, then at a certain point, like it keeps you like enclosed when you don't want to be enclosed. And I think that's why some people are unhappy with where they're at in life, because they think, well, they probably should. Actually, I'm throwing out should. I don't like should. The word should, I think, damages people. And even the expectation that you should be doing something, I think it's a weight that people don't necessarily need to carry on them. Like, just do what you internally feel is right for you in order to, hopefully it's a positive change, which it should be if you were treated accordingly and have certain things in place. So
I agree. Shout out to Black Unicorns, the brand that I'm currently representing.
Hey, drop it.
Dropping it.
Promo your stuff.
I'm giving the promo because, we started a whole, clothing line. We got our own apparel, right? And the whole purpose is to inspire our community to create, scale, and invest unapologetically, right? Do your thing on your own terms. So long as you're not hurting anybody, you know what I mean? We want you living life to the fullest. So lean into your gifts, lean into your passions, and you will be just fine.
Yes, indeed.
Blackunicorns.store if you want to, cop some merch. We have this for sale. The hat I'm wearing is funny because I wear these hats all the time, and people think my name is B.
Yeah.
They think I'm B. Like, no, I'm Gary. He's B. I just wear B on my hat. It's the funniest thing. I you know what I mean? I'm out here marketing you, so you're welcome.
I appreciate it. I didn't even know I had a hat. I apparently have a hat now. So good to know.
Yes, sir. But so Black Unicorns is ours. So blackunicorns.store. Yes. www.blackunicorns.store. You can check out our merch and apparel and mugs and whatnot. Also give us a follow at We Black Unicorns. WE Black Unicorns is the handle across social media. But not to make this just about us. The hat I'm wearing is from Wear Brims. Yep. So Brims is another Black-owned company based out of Atlanta. And they just have the dopest hats, baseball caps, fedoras. Yeah. I have quite the collection. Nice. I would assume I'm one of their top customers. Like, I'm like, yeah, I know y'all have like, India Irie wearing your hats, and I don't know if it's like Chrisette Michelle or what other celebrities have, but they definitely have celebrities wearing their stuff. They're in Nordstrom. I believe they're the first Black-owned hat company, luxury hat brand, to be sold in Nordstrom. So very big deal. And yeah, man, everything they drop, I'm like, I need it. So they get me every time.
Yes, indeed. And that's how somebody's building a good business. So every time you drop something, people need it.
People need it.
That's what we aim to bring right here at BVP.
That's what
things that you need.
Yes, sir. So with that being said,
yes,
we stay dropping content to educate the community. For those who are new around the herd, this is our weekly live show with your co-founders of Bison Venture Partners, where we give you news, updates, and interviews with entrepreneurs and investors in our community. Our whole mission is to educate the community about what it means to have equity and ownership in the startup and investing landscape. So whether that's through small business ownership, launching a technology startup, or investing in those businesses, we want to make it easier to understand what's going on, how to get started, and create a platform that amplifies the work of amazing individuals in our community. So that is what we do weekly, same time, same place, 7 p.m. Thursday Eastern time. And we are streaming. We stream every week. So you might be watching us on LinkedIn. You can also catch us on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and there's probably one other platform I'm missing. We will be experimenting with TikTok if we can get to 1,000 followers on there, but try to make it a little more accessible for the people.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So
just gotta keep dropping, man.
Just gotta, And you said that before, right? You had sent me some statistic about podcasts, right? And
Yeah.
podcasts are very popular. Everybody launches a podcast. It's very easy to do. But
Mhm.
the amount of podcasts that pass, what was it, 5 episodes?
Yeah. So it's like it's the amount that passed 3, then the next is like past like 20, and it drops off like significantly. And
Mm,
even over the past, what, I want to say 3 or 4 years, podcasting creation has dropped off 80%. So
mm,
it's it's the beauty of, for myself, of having ran marathons and building that endurance, to know that, bro, like, this ain't no short sprint. It don't work like that. So when it
right.
doesn't happen that fast, you have the fortitude and the knowledge to be like, okay, I just keep gotta cook one step in front of the other, one step in front of the other, one step in front of the other. The next thing you know, like, oh, I'm there.
Yep.
So
That's it.
yeah, man.
That's it. Consistency, believing in yourself, being open to iterating and changing, adjusting
Yeah.
based on feedback and all that kind of good stuff. Like, we started on a different platform
Yeah.
and it was, it's a great platform, but had its
Yeah.
own limitations and all that kind of good stuff, barriers to entry.
Mhm.
So, now that was a private app, right? You had to log into our
Yeah.
app to be able to get the live stream and all that kind of good stuff. But now it's just,
Mhm.
we catch you wherever you are online, wherever you're hanging out.
Yes,
Hopefully you
indeed.
got a notification. You see that we're live and you get
Yeah.
to tune in for as long as you'd like. And you didn't have to sign up, sign in or anything like that. But I will say, if you
Yes.
would like to be notified first of all our latest and greatest happenings, please visit the website on the little ticker below, www.bv.partners. Just leave your email. It is free. It's a free newsletter. But that's where we are storing all our information, contact our community members. If we happen to launch our own investment round in the future, individuals who are subscribed to the newsletter would certainly be the first to know. So just putting that out there.
Yeah.
But good sir, so we stay dropping stuff, as you said.
Yes.
And we have our own coffee brand.
I was about to say, what else we drop?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Keep
sir.
it going, Gary. Give
Let's
him the
just keep
menu, Gary.
this
Give him the
because we
menu.
got it all. We are certainly working very hard to be a one-stop shop
Yes,
for all of your needs. But we founded a coffee business under Bison Venture Partners. It is called BVP Coffee Co. All right. And it's premium coffee, roasted to order. And up until recently, we were just working with 2 different roasters to deliver our freshly roasted coffee to our customers.
Mhm.
But part of our framework at BVP is to, again, create, scale, and invest in our community. So we found an investment opportunity where a Black-owned coffee roaster out of Chicago they're still raising right now. It's called Cribby Coffee.
Mhm.
They're raising funds on Start Engine. And we said, you know what? We can invest money. One, looks like a solid business. We're going to analyze the business, do our due diligence.
Yes,
Part of
indeed.
doing the due diligence means trying the product, of course.
Yes, indeed.
And I tried the product. It was quite delicious, I must say. It was next level coffee.
I was about to say the tone switch where you said I tried the product.
This
Yikes.
coffee, this
Uh-huh.
coffee, listen, this coffee is unique, one, innovative, two, Black owned, three. Cribby Coffee air roasts their beans.
Mhm.
So most coffee roasters are going to, use this big drum roasting method. That's the most, commonplace methodology. Cribby Coffee has a patent on this technology where they actually air roast the coffee, and through the air roasting process, it removes the bitterness that a lot of people experience when drinking coffee. So Cribby's whole thing is like, no, we air roast our coffee. It's a totally different flavor profile. It's more flavorful than more traditional roasts, and they wanted to invite more people to come in and be a part of this journey, right? Uh, Basically exposing the world to air roasted coffee. So tried the coffee, it was great. And we don't stop there. We don't say, okay, we want to invest. We say, let's invest and let's help this business scale,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how do we help the business scale? We push their product. How do we help them increase their sales? Well, one way to do that was to create our own private label coffee with them, right? So concocted our very own bag of air roasted coffee. We have 1867 here. It's from Cameroon. It has tasting notes of caramel, red cherries, and floral. It is a light roast. And this is a limited edition drop, specifically designed for Black History Month. Now, if you tuned in last week, you got the history details. Now, well, hold on. Sir Bass.
Yes, indeed.
It's pop quiz time.
Here it comes.
Last week was study hall. That was just the preparation. That was just the preparation.
Man stays with a quiz. All right, come on.
Stay with a quiz. So, all right. We got 1867 is our bag. There were 3 Black history facts tied to this year.
Do you remember from the bag?
Well, there are actually more than that, but to the year specifically, there were 3 I mentioned on our last show.
Okay. One is that it was the founding year for both Howard University and also Morehouse University at the time, which was Tuskegee
Morehouse College, which at the time was the Augusta Institute.
There we go. So we have that. Second one. I want to say. I feel like there's rights within here somewhere.
yeah, that's it. You're on the right track.
Yeah. Yeah.
You need a hint?
I do.
Okay. DC.
Okay.
We're still in DC. And it revolves around rights, and it revolves around Black men specifically.
Yes, indeed.
If I give you the word agency, does that invoke any memories?
Oh, this looks so terrible.
The right to.
We're not talking about voting, are we?
We were talking about voting. Yes, sir. We
are. Oh, wow. Yes. It was sitting there like right on the top of the tongue. You're like, it's not that one, is it? Okay. No, I've been working on this intuition thing. I should just drop it. But yeah, gotcha.
Yes. So Black men could vote in DC. Nice. And the third fact.
Yo, I'm bugging. Okay. That's 100 years after. Okay. Never mind. We're all right. We're back up. Okay.
We're back. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Mental conversation.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. And third one, huh? I feel like this is the point where it's like, can I ask the audience? Can I phone a friend? No, but hold on. Last one.
I can give you a hint.
Yeah, what's coming to mind is more like just the design of the bag rather than the year. That's what's taking me.
Okay. Well, if you have another fact you would like to substitute, you can definitely do that. We can allow that tonight.
Oh, well, I mean, I would just go into just describing the bag itself because I think the most important thing is that at the bottom, the cause, the purpose of the bag, right? So what we were trying to do is further HBCU education. So every dollar sold from the bag will go towards a scholarship fund for that particular HBCU, because I've known what it is to be in college and not have your college supported. So you have to hop out and then hop right back in. And it's not the funnest. We all know that life does happen, and we don't make sure that life does happen, but more in a positive way to make sure we're keeping these kids educated and at the right or the institute of their choosing. So
yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. And yes, then next, where does the rest of this bag come from, right?
Wow. Okay. The rest of the bag. So the third Black history fact, Madam C.J. Walker was born in 1867.
That was the one. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. And then we talked about, it may be a little bit hard to see, but
the spur.
Yes, you have a spur after the year. Do you remember that one?
The spur after the year, the cause of the spur?
What it's tied to, the Black history fact that it's tied to.
It is tied to, are we talking the Buffalo Soldiers is what we're talking about?
Funny enough, no, but that is Black history. So
exactly.
BVP is inspired by the Buffalo Soldiers.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Yes,
The spur on the bag, in my mind anyway, was
yes.
more directly tied to the history of the cowboy, right? And the cowboy actually coming from slavery, originating in slavery,
Yes,
where you had slaves who were tending to the cattle, right? And they were called cowboys. That is where cowboy comes from. So we are Bison Venture Partners, right? We are venturing into this unknown, and forging our own path, building our own future, and very much embodying, right, westward expansion and owning our own. So I wanted to pay some homage to our history there. But the tie to Morehouse, right? Because no one on our team currently attended Morehouse, but our coffee, this particular design was inspired by an opportunity where I was at Urban Outfitters at their corporate headquarters in the little cafe, and was introduced to a gentleman who manages the cafe, who went to Morehouse, and he had the year 1867 and the Augusta Institute on his sweatshirt. So
I'm
I said,
hearing origin story.
"Yes, sir." So I was like, "Hey, what you know about 1867?" You know what I mean? Being a Howard man, I'm
Yes,
like, "Yeah, what's that mean to you?" And I didn't know what the Augusta Institute was. I was like, "What is that?" It's like, "Oh, it's Morehouse." I said, "Oh, dope, love it." So, then he finds out that I'm in the coffee business, and he says, "We want to feature some coffee during Black History Month. So if you could bring us some samples, we'd love to try it. Have our baristas try it, and if we like it, we'll purchase some bags and put it up for sale in our cafe." Needless to say, brought him some samples. His favorite was this particular roast from Cameroon. So we got him Cameroon, we got him Tanzanian beans, as well as our Mexican chocolate. And they are currently for sale at the Urban Outfitters Cafe. So shout out to my man John at the
Yeah,
Urban.
John.
Appreciate you, my brother from
John.
Morehouse. Yeah, so that is the origin story of this bag. This design is currently for sale. It is a limited edition bag of beans from BVP Coffee Co. You can visit www.bvp.coffee to check us out, to buy your bag. Bags are going fast. This might be the last bag in inventory. So, I actually want to,
I love it.
Create a little plug right there. We got a little QR code, so making it real
Hey, there
easy
it
for
is.
you. If you go ahead and scan that code.
Also,
We've got one scanner. All right, someone has scanned the code. Perfect.
love it.
We hope that that
While we're
individual.
dropping links, Sir
Yes, sir.
Michael has also asked for the Black Unicorn brand link as well, where to find said brand.
Absolutely. Okay, give me 1 second. You know what? Let's try to do this. Let's try to multitask. You think we can show 2 QR codes at the same time?
Let's see.
I feel like
is
this is like
technology.
HSN, but it ain't HSN. It's BVP. It is BVP, ladies and gentlemen.
Why can we not create our own channel?
Listen, it's here. It's right here.
That's what I'm saying,
BVP TV. It is here. So currently on the screen is the QR code for Black Unicorns. You can check us out. Check out all the merch that's available there. If you see something you like, we hope you will support. Give us a follow as well. It is all very helpful. And I say, why not also donate $1 from every merch sale to HBCU scholarships? Why can't we do that?
Why not? Let the people eat. In the words of the great Paid in Full, everybody eats, B.
I love it. I love it. But no, this is this is a business. We run a business, but it is a social enterprise, right? There's no reason why you can't, create a product that people love and enjoy, and it allows you to sustain the business, but also allows you to give back to your community. So that's our whole model, our whole method. And we just appreciate you all for just being interested, even just the interest alone, because it is very daunting to launch something, to put it out there. You don't know how
Yes,
people are going to
indeed.
react, you know.
Yeah. No,
But
it's oh, continue,
go on.
sir. No, I was just gonna say, definitely, it's always appreciated. I think some people underestimate that factor that when you're first starting out, something like a simple compliment is like, "Hey, I appreciate what y'all are doing," is motivation enough. Especially if you don't get it, you maybe get one or two. You're like, okay, at least I'm on the right path, right? You just aren't
Yep.
early on that path. So, uh, trust me, anything, just y'all showing up tonight
Yeah.
is
No,
a
for real.
blessing in and of its own, and knowing that me and Gary aren't just talking in space is beautiful and it's appreciated. So thank you for your time.
Yep. It is much appreciated. We are definitely, this is a journey,
Yes,
right?
indeed.
And we are in it together. It is not about just us. It is about inspiring and uplifting our communities. And I especially wanted to wear the Black Unicorn shirt because tonight we're going to interview a Black unicorn.
Ooh,
Yes.
come
Yes.
on with it. I was about to say, don't we got guests today?
We have a guest. We have a very special guest who also happens to be one of our investors. So
Hey,
it's, we got it's like a double header here. So I am going to bring on our good friend, Leticia. Want to say welcome. Leticia, how are
hey.
you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. It is
That
so good to see you.
intro, man. I wasn't ready.
That's what we
Gotta
do.
love. Welcome to the show.
Yes. Welcome
Thank
to the
you.
show.
Thank you.
So we are live around the herd, and we appreciate you for joining us. We are currently streaming to a global audience.
Oh,
We've got
man.
at least several people around the world maybe tuning in, and we are grateful for them. But
Yes, indeed.
we are grateful for you as well, just for gracing us with your presence. We know you're very busy, but you got some amazing things going on, and we would love to hear. We're gonna got a few questions for you, but want to hear about sort of your founder journey, where you've been, what you've been up to, and then where you're going. Because I know that you've been transitioning here and there, and I'm sure you got some big things in the works. And if we can get the inside scoop here around the herd, then that would be a blessing. We would appreciate
Okay. I mean, where do you want to start? Where do
it.
you want to start?
So, well, let's start. Let's start in Texas because B here,
Yes,
and
indeed.
I don't know that you've actually met B, but B, this
Nope.
is
No.
Leticia, my
Hello.
long lost cousin, claiming her as my cousin since
Nice. We
she's
all
a
family
Johnson as
right
well.
here.
We're all
Love it.
family. We're all family. But Leticia, are you from Austin?
I'm not. I'm originally from Tampa Bay, Florida.
Mm,
I have been in Austin though since 2017. And prior to that, I'd moved back to Tampa for a couple years. And then prior to that, I was in Dallas for a couple years. So,
Hey.
Texas is in my blood. And when I got the opportunity to move out to Austin, I actually had a choice between New York, Los Angeles, or Austin. And I chose Austin because it's central, right? It's in the center of the US. It's right in between both markets. Can get to New York in 3 hours, can get to LA in 3.5. And so for me, it was kind of like the perfect space to grow and build and expand, with the understanding that I could travel to either of those markets whenever I wanted. And that's what I've been doing for the last couple of years, building everything. So
amazing.
Nice.
So B, being a Texan, I'll let you jump in with a follow up. But after that, Leticia, definitely want to hear the origins of your entrepreneurship journey. How did you get started? But B, please go. You go first.
Oh, well, that's where I was gonna take it. But if we're staying in Texas, ooh, give me what you love most about Texas and what you hate most about Texas.
what I love about Texas is, like I
Uh,
said, it's in between both markets. I
okay.
love being in Austin. I also love just kind of like the melting pot that Austin
Mhm.
is. Being in Texas, Dallas, Houston, love those markets as well.
Mhm.
I think what I don't like about Texas is that, it's still Texas.
Whoa,
there,
hold
there
on.
are
Yeah, say it.
experiences, right? Like we can't
Okay,
talk
all
about
right,
Texas without the political ramification.
okay,
And I
all
can
right,
say
all
that
right.
because I'm from Florida, right?
Yeah,
Like,
I had
Yeah,
to see
that's
where she, I had to see
quite a
where she was
move.
going with this. I
That's
was like,
like a lateral
you
okay,
move.
know,
all right, all right, yeah,
I'm from
yeah, all right.
Florida, so I think political things
Yeah.
notwithstanding,
Mm-mm-mm.
I think that's kind of like what I would say
Mhm.
is something that I didn't, that I don't, that
Yeah,
I'm still growing with, still
yeah,
growing.
yeah. You're in the capital, so you're gonna get it a lot more than I would over here. So no, that's completely understandable. So yeah.
So, Leticia, can you tell us a little bit about your founder journey? How did you get started in entrepreneurship?
Oh man, I think like I didn't really have a choice but to be an entrepreneur. Both of my parents were entrepreneurs. Growing up, my mom was a realtor. My dad worked in construction. One of my earliest jobs was at his construction company, running the books, understanding marketing, understanding all of that. And I kind of just grew up with that at the forefront. And my dad is kind of old school, and he would always say, "The only power you got is the power you create."
Mm,
And so he really kind of instilled that in us from an early age that, like, yes, go to school, do all the things that you want to do, get the job, but also build your own thing. And so as I grew up with that as the forefront, I went kind of the opposite way of my sisters. They went to school, they had that. I was like, I want to be an artist. I'm going to be a creative. I'm going to build my own life. And that's kind of where my entrepreneurial journey started because
mm,
being a songwriter, being a musician back in that time, I'm not going to age myself, but I'm a little older than I look. Um, it was probably like I would say 2007, 2008. So Spotify had just launched, YouTube was just coming out, right? All of the tools that we have today, we didn't have back then. And so I really needed to be an advocate for myself as a creator. Growing up in a small market, Tampa back then isn't the market that it is now. And so that's kind of where entrepreneurship started for me, was through the lens of, okay, I'm in a small market. I want to be in the entertainment industry, but I don't want to move to LA. I don't
Mhm.
want to move to New York. What are my options?
mm,
And that's kind of where it started. And I started networking and doing different things that eventually led me to signing a development deal when I was about 19 years old. Spent a couple years in the music industry from that framework. And then um, at the end of the deal, was like, this isn't really for me. What
mm.
is for me? And I started to kind of look around and think through technology, entrepreneurship, knew that I had a love for both and wanted to figure out a way to integrate that into my work going forward. And so that's really where it started for me.
Amazing. That is a powerful, powerful origin story and quite the foundation, right, to be building on. And I can definitely relate to sort of like growing as an entrepreneur in an ecosystem that is not necessarily prosperous and thriving, right?
Mhm.
But seeking opportunities elsewhere. Um, B, I'm going to throw it to you. We can
Yep.
alternate.
No, I'm here. So I would say with that, where was the confidence to essentially come out and go your own direction? Was that something you think was inherent within you from growing up, or is that something that you think you've constantly had to work at throughout your life?
Um, my dad used to have this saying, and he still says it now. Do you want to be good or do you want to be extraordinary?
Mm,
Mhm.
your
And
dad got
it's
all the
something.
sayings.
Dad out here like just dropping dimes and stuff. Like, yeah,
So like he would,
yeah, okay.
I hated when he would ask me this question when I was
Yeah.
younger, right? And I
Mhm,
was I was an athlete. I played basketball, and I
mhm,
would be complaining about something, and he would listen to me complain, and he'd ask like, "Do you want to be good or do you want to be extraordinary?" The
Mm,
answer to that question was always, "I want to be extraordinary." And so I do think it is inherent from the way that I was raised and with the confidence that my parents instilled in me that like you can be ordinary if you want, and that's a path, but that ain't the path for you.
mm,
So it was definitely, It's definitely something that just kind of came up through my upbringing. I was not raised to think that I was incapable of anything. I was raised with the understanding that whatever I wanted to do, I could do as long as I worked after it, like go after it, make sure that you have the discipline and all of the elements and the tools at your disposal, but use them as a catalyst and go out and do it and at least try. And if you fail, then you have this place to come back to, but at least you tried.
Love it.
True.
I love it. B knows I got a Jay-Z line for everything. Hov said,
Hey.
loss ain't a loss, it's a lesson.
Hey,
That's it.
I was gonna go with a different Hov bar where
Okay,
it's,
please.
I'd rather die enormous than live dormant. That's
and
how
live
we
dormant. That's two of my favorites.
Wow.
Two of my favorites.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna get into rappers soon, but okay, Leticia. So, Visionary Rising is your company.
It is, yes.
What is Visionary Rising, and what are you up to now?
So, Visionary Rising is a creator studio and growth partner for brands, creators, and startups. And really, it's taking like the last 10 years I've worked. We haven't really gone into my career, but I've worked in tech for the last 10 years, spent the last year at Royal doing go to market strategy. And at the same time that I was building my tech career, I was also building the platform that is the creator studio with the understanding of like having services, a traditional agency services, but also having a partner that can really help you to navigate through every aspect of your career, whether you're building it as an individual founder, whether you're building it as a creator, or you're a brand who wants to start to partner and create authentic connections. We are a partner that can help you to do that. And so that's kind of the baseline for what Visionary Rising is, in a grand sense. At the smallest sense, it's just a partner to help people navigate the changing ecosystem of everything.
I feel like you need to flex on us right now. So what types of partners have you worked with at Visionary Rising?
Types of partners that we've worked at Visionary Rising. I mean, it's really run the gamut. One of our partners that I'm like the most proud of that we've worked with is Wethos. It's as a virtual studio CRM for people who are building their studios. So you can get your proposals on there. You can understand how to just run your business, how to price. They have open format pricing. I mean, things like that. We started working with them when we were one of the first 100 people on their platform 2.5 years ago. They're now at 70,000 users. We've worked with them for a number of years and just kind of partnering with them. We've partnered with Skillshare. I don't have them all off the top of my head. I can run through them all.
Well, you know what I can do? I got your website up right here. So you know what I mean? I'm looking at logos and all. So we got Wethos, Skillshare. You have a team. You have a team of 20 or so individuals all around the world. Is that true?
Yes.
Wow. How do you go about building an agency virtually in that way?
Yeah, so for me, it's like I worked at an agency for 1.5 years at different points in my career, and what I didn't like about the agency model, and I think everyone after the pandemic is kind of coming to this space of it, is like as a creator, working in a traditional sense is not for us, right? Our minds think differently. I could go to a desk job for 8 hours a day, but you're not going to get the best out of me. And I just know that about myself. And so the way that I've built the studio is really as a platform. So it's more as a collective for the people who work with us. Do your best work, whatever that looks like, whatever hours that looks like for you. Do that will get you to do your best work, of course, within these parameters. As long as you're doing what you're supposed to do, you can do whatever you want. And so that's kind of the framework that I've built the studio around. And so we do have a global network of creators that are across the world. We have an art director who's joining us from Brazil beginning next week. He's done global brand work for Netflix and for a lot of different large brands, global brands. And one of the reasons that he said he wanted to come and work with the agency and work with our clients is for the flexibility and the freedom. And so it starts there, right? What are the types of projects that you want to be working on? What is the type of work that you want to be doing? And we'll go out and find that work and then help you to do your best work and to be your best self and have the work-life integration that I think a lot of creators are wanting right now.
Understood. Powerful stuff.
Yeah. I feel like I got two things for you. So first one, when you got the idea for this business, is this something that you experienced while you were in your process of creating? Like, is this kind of modeled after something that has helped you, or is this something that you felt like was missing and like, hey, I need to provide this to the market?
I did feel like it was missing. So I've in 2013, I worked at Nielsen Media, which, Nielsen is one of the larger kind of data aggregators in the world. But they provide data for like Billboard charts, right? The Billboard charts is what Nielsen provides data for. And while I was working there, I really loved the work, but I hated the fact that I had to go into an office 8 hours a day. When really I was probably only doing enough work for 4 hours, right? Like let's just be honest. Like I'm here for 8 hours.
Yeah, you stretch that 4-hour work. Yeah.
You got to stretch the hour. You got to stretch the meetings. And so I kept having these conversations with my mentors at that time, where it was like, of course, you're complaining, and one of my mentors is just like, you keep complaining about it. Why don't you go out and build it, right? And this was kind of before hybrid workplaces became the norm, or before people were really thinking about flex work. I started kind of putting those pieces together pretty early before the market changed. And at the time that I was like, hey, in 2016, I said, I'm going to launch a digital studio. Everyone kind of looked at me like, oh, but you need a place, you need a physical place where people could go. And I was like, yeah, but I could either spend $5,000 for this place that no one's going to use, or I could put that toward actually growing the business. And so I decided to put it toward growing the business instead.
Nice.
Amazing. Making it stretch.
Yes, indeed. Second question for you. So you said it as a growing entrepreneur, it takes time to understand like how you work best, right? Like, what hours do you work? A typical 9 to 5 isn't necessarily how you work best. How long did it take you to figure out kind of like what your workflow was, and creatively wise, like, because different energy is going to hit you at different times throughout the day. How long did it take out to figure like, okay, these are my maximum times. These are the times and locations I need to be in order to maximize that productivity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think like I think it probably came a little bit more easier to me because I have the music creation background. And in music, you kind of build your creation process around the hours that you work the best at. And then you kind of start to build your life around, okay, if I'm going to be in the studio from 7 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., because that's the time that I'm going to get it done, then that means I got to do kind of all of these things. So it kind of just came very naturally to me through like very early in my career, having jobs that required me to be in the office, and then kind of flipping that switch for myself to be like, once I had my first remote job, I was like, I am never.
I get you.
My first remote job was 2014. Like I moved to a remote role and I was like, you're not ever getting me back into an office. You're not getting me back into an office.
Yeah.
It's not happening. At most, you can expect like the 30 days for the onboarding. I'll give you that. But after that, and you build that trust, I'm out. But just know I'm going to get my work done. I'm going to do what needs to be done. And so that was kind of like, that's how I built my systems, what I built my things around. Yeah. And what I tell my team now is like, these are the hours that I'm going to be online. Yeah. I know I don't want to have meetings before 11 a.m., right? So the optimum amount of work that I'm going to do is between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Yeah. And I'm going to get out everything that I need to do in those 5 hours. And if you need me outside of that space, I'll be there. But like, this is what it is. And as I've grown in my career, kind of communicating that early and often, whether I was working in a role or not, I think people mostly just kind of respected that if they want to get the best out of me, these are the hours that they're gonna get me, because if you book a meeting at 10 a.m., I'll be there, but whether or not I participate is probably no, that's on you.
Yeah. Yep. No, I get that. And it's also coaching people on like how you like to be treated, right? Because I think it takes a moment, especially as a creative. Unfortunately, like, you're sensitive to a lot of things, but your sensitivity is also what gives you your strength. That's why you can create things. So understand people like, hey, this is kind of like how I should be handled. And if you handle me outside of that, either I'm gone or I can't really work with you like that. So letting people know like, hey, these are my hours. This is how I move, so I can help you be the best you, and I can give you the best me. So I think that's just healthy for relationships in general, is just understanding just those boundaries. Because you can love to a point, but if I loved you more, then I'm not loving you anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love you for 3 hours. You get me to 3:05, we are having a completely different story.
Because then your brain just shuts down, right? Yeah. Like, yeah, we've gone, especially like this year, we're testing out just async communications internally, which is like, document the things that you need, get eyes on it. If we need to book the 15-minute meeting, let's book the 15-minute meeting. I've kind of thrown away recurring meetings with trying to build a culture that meet as needed. Because I also found that like, if you have a lot of recurring meetings, you're going to hold things until that meeting. And then an hour meeting becomes an hour and a half meeting because you've been holding these things for a couple days. Whereas if you're just meeting 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and you're getting the answers that you need more quickly, it creates that kind of that ease in the communication and builds that culture. But stuff like that, I think, starts from the top down. If my team is zapped of energy because I've taken up an hour and a half of their time, they can't then turn around and go out and produce really great work for clients, because that also takes a lot of time. So I try to, go do away with the meetings that are recurring and unnecessary, build a meet as needed culture, and then also just respect the way that people tell you they need to work.
No, love it. I love it. Do you happen to have like some kind of like webinar series or an ebook, to train corporations? Because I feel like they're missing out on that. They don't understand.
I'm working on it. No, but for real, I am working on it. But but I think that a lot of corporations, and like I've been inside a lot of large corporations, and a lot of them miss out on just getting the best out of their workers or their employees, because they're so set on like putting them into these set parameters. I've been a people leader for the last 7 years within organizations, and my team are always the highest performing teams. I became known as the turnaround person because they would kind of put me with a team that was having issues, and they're having critical errors, and they're doing all of these things. And within 60 days, they're like completely turned around, have the least amount of errors. And it's like, what? It's, you listen to the people, you give them the things that they need. They're going to show up for you. They're going to not only show up for you, they're going to excel because they want to return that back to you.
Yeah. Huge.
I love it. I love it.
And Kenneth over here shouting out the 15-minute meets. No, 15 minutes are beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, because nothing's worse than being in a meeting and I think as a higher performer, like you already know like all the things that you have to do in your head. And then once you're in that meeting, you register like this isn't actually that productive. So you're not even in the meeting. You're just thinking about all the things you have to get back to. And it's like a running clock in your head. So it's like as soon as you're out of that meeting, you're sprinting back. And now you're trying to get caught up rather than,
you're trying to get caught up. And then also look at all the money that's wasted by the organization because you have 7 of your highest performers on a call that just wasting their time, right? Like that's money, it's your bottom line. I'm going to be here, but I just find like it's more effective to give people the space and the freedom that they need, give them their time back. They're going to go around and turn around and deliver even more back to you.
Yeah, no, most definitely.
Absolutely. So I see on your website, you've worked with Austin City Limits. You've also worked with Boxed Water. Pretty big deal. And I can't find it right now, but I'm pretty sure somewhere on the site, I saw something that said like we're the firm you hire when the firm you hired ran out of ideas. I was like, this is incredible.
That's hard.
Talk about knowing your customer.
Yeah. Because a lot of people come to us, and I think, startups and brands especially come to us after they have had a bad experience with other agencies. And I think the difference between a growth partner and a traditional agency is that as a growth partner, I can sit down with you and look at your roadmap and tell you exactly the tools that you'll need. And maybe all of that will be found in the agency. But more than likely, it's going to be us partnering with other firms that we know that can deliver on it. So if we're delivering a growth strategy and you need a digital marketing person, you can go out and source your own digital marketing agency. But if I'm your growth partner and I have a network of digital marketers who are going to give me a discount for services because I send so much stuff to them, I can now help you to grow. You save money on the bottom line, you meet your needs, and then when it's time to get like that next thing, we can look and approach that together. A lot of times what ends up happening is people are not trying to solve for the problem. They're trying to put a Band-Aid on it. And so when you solve for the problem, that sometimes means looking deeper into and finding a solution. And sometimes that solution is like, hey, we're not the agency that can deliver this for you, but we can find the agency that will partner with them to make sure that you're getting all of the value that you need.
Amazing.
No, I mean, the way I view life like creatively is like through a fitness lens, right? So it just hits home as to, well, one, I like to be the trainer that's like somebody's had a bad experience as a personal trainer or like been in personal training where like their trainer previously just beat them all up. And I was like, no, will you die from a workout? Possibly. Is my goal to kill you through that workout? No, I want you to get stronger. You got stronger that day, right? To like, if you were moving previously and you've been getting hurt, then there's something within that movement that we have to change in order to make sure you move better, you move in pain free, right? So I just look at that through what you're talking about of just like, hey, you're coming to me. There's something that you've missed previously or whoever you've been working with has missed previously, which is why you're still looking for somebody. So.
And we want you to succeed so we can put you on
exactly
in our case studies, right? Like our team approaches like every new client is a case study. And that's not from a perspective of like, hey, you're going to be a case study, but from the perspective of like what we delivered yesterday, like that was yesterday. And I've been saying a lot, like I'm very proud of the work that I've done up until this point in my career. It's been really good work and I'm very proud of it, but it's not my greatest work. And when I tell my team that, they're like, what? Like, you're crazy. And I'm like, but if I subscribe to this idea that my greatest work is behind me, I'm never going to keep pushing to create the greatest work that lays ahead of me. And so I kind of instill that within my team as well. It's like every creator that comes through the door, we kind of throw out anything that we've done before because what worked for that creator is not going to matter. Like we know the systems, we know all of these things, but like, what do you want? What is your audience telling you? Okay, let's build a system that's going to work for you. and get some knowledge, get some success there. And then when someone else comes to us, we're not going to just replicate the strategy that we've built for you on them. We're going to ask them the same set of questions and figure out what's the best kind of connections and tools that will help them to achieve it.
Yeah. No, I would say even with that, during that process of growing, it's annoying because I feel like sometimes like the goalpost shifts, right? Because as you're going towards that goal, you're smarter, you're getting better, you're getting more efficient. But also, as you do that, you realize that the goal that you originally set is actually a very short one, right? So you start thinking bigger, just like, why go like stay local? Why can't I go state? Why, okay, if I'm going state, why can't I go national? If I'm going national, why can't I just go global? You know what I'm saying? So I think, yeah, yeah, as we like to talk about, yesterday's price is not today's price.
Not today's price.
Like things change and you get better. So as you get better within your space, like why not just keep on pushing for just pushing forward. So you just got to make sure that you're staying present within the moment and make sure you're going after what you're.
That's true. And like one of our core things that we always ask in like during our onboarding process is like, what is your vision for the company? Or what is your vision for whatever? And people like they tend to kind of hold themselves back. And I'm like, no, like don't hold yourself back. What is your vision? You know, like tell us your vision. And then it's up to us to synthesize that into a strategy that's going to get you there. It may not get you there tomorrow, right? But it's good for us to know so that we can then create, like you said, the goalpost that is going to be able to tell us, are we getting incrementally closer, right? If your goal is to get to acquire 10,000 users in the next 12 months, but you don't say that, how can we measure whether or not you're getting incrementally closer to that?
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like you're doing well. The business is doing well. I'm sure there's no shortage of there's no shortage of clientele who are beating down your door. We got your QR code up right now, so you know traffic hopefully is driving to the website. If anybody is watching and you got your phone out, you can scan the QR code and visit the Visionary Rising website. But as B said, yesterday's price is not today's price. So you done heard all the different projects and companies that the firm has worked with. So, you know, let's be honest, right? Yeah. You're looking for clients who have a budget, right, and want to do some serious work. So, serious inquiries only. But Leticia, do you want to give just a quick plug for the type of clients that you are looking for moving forward?
Yeah, I think it's exactly what you said, right? Budget and who are committed, right? I think when we are looking for that, whether it's a creator or a brand or a startup, like our criteria across all of those different sectors they change. But I think the whole thing starts with like commitment. You need to be committed to achieving your goal, and we're going to get you there. So that's kind of where it starts at.
Amazing. So everyone, please visit the website. And Leticia, where can people find you online, you know, on socials?
Well, on social, I am Leticia Rising across everything, LATECIA Rising across everything. And then the company, you have the link up there, but it's visionaryrising.agency across everything.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Leticia, for dropping some major gems. We're going to send you a Black Unicorns shirt.
I've been waiting. You know, I'm inducted. I love it.
We got you. We got you.
You know, I got the Premium Equity mug. I drink it every morning. It reminds
me. I love it. Flex on
that
them.
mug.
That
mug is different levels. But I appreciate this conversation tonight and love what you guys are doing. And I'm so proud to be an investor of this amazing platform and company.
We thank you. And we are here to support you for the long term, of course, as well. But for everyone, please, again, support Leticia, support Visionary Rising, follow her online, social media, visit the website, all that kind of good stuff. She's absolutely a Black unicorn in the flesh. So we are here to help each other win. Leticia, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you.
And we will see you another time around the herd. We're gonna have you back, and we're gonna have to talk some artists that you've worked with and what that whole thing is about.
Yeah,
That
I was
could be
like,
a whole
you didn't even
hour-long
Yeah,
conversation.
I was about to say, let her flex a little bit more.
You know. Well, okay, next time.
We can have part 2. We appreciate you for your time, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, see you. All right. Wow. Major keys, major gems dropped.
Jeez. She learned keys from a young age. Pops was just dropping gems all over the place.
Oh man. I was like, I'm trying to take all the notes.
I was about to say, her second time around, she's bringing Pops on.
Listen. Yeah, right.
We need to meet this,
man.
man.
That would be incredible. That'd be incredible. But yeah, so the one I have down is, do you want to be good or you want to be extraordinary? Man.
He also dropped the only power you have is what you create. I was like,
I love that one too. They were all great.
Set the mic on fire there.
Yeah. It was just could have stopped there. And called it a night. But that was amazing. Everyone tuning in, we're gonna be uploading this recording so you can watch it again as many times as you would like. Share it with a friend. Support Leticia. Visit the website. Follow her online. Get yourself a Black Unicorn tee. We're going to be sending her a Black Unicorn tee for sure.
Or pay me an equity mug.
Or pay me an equity mug.
Or in coffee.
What else we got? We listen. Because if you get the mug, you're going to need the coffee.
Yes, indeed.
You're going to need something to put inside of the mug. You can't just have an empty mug.
Mm-hmm.
So why not support BVP Coffee Co., which also supports HBCU student scholarships. So you buy a bag, we donate a bag to HBCU scholarships. So we help young professionals stay in school. It's expensive to go to school. It's expensive to stay in school. We want to make sure that students can go, can stay, and can graduate. All right. So coffee is one of the ways that we do that. Selling merch is one of the ways that we do that. So we just appreciate everybody. We actually have a few more things we want to announce tonight.
Come on with it.
Because, Sir Bass, you started off the conversation saying, we've really only seen each other in person once.
Yes, indeed.
Orientation.
Orientation. Yeah. Orientation, and then like 2 nights of going out in DC. So successful meeting to say the least. So we can meet somebody for like less than 24 hours and build a business. Things are right. So
yes, absolutely. That's how it started. Orientation at the Mecca.
Hey,
we're at the Mecca in person. We are getting our MBAs online, but we had orientation in person, and it was just a beautiful experience. That is the origin story of Bison Venture Partners. Yes, right. Indeed. We're sitting in that room, just amazing, just Black excellence, talent from every field.
Yes, indeed. Special night. For
Very
sure.
Special night. That's how we got started.
Out of the same table. He's like, "You want to build something?" I was like, "Bro, yes. Like, talk to me, please."
Yes, sir.
How we gonna do this?
Yes, sir. And we've been riding out ever since. Yes, and it is a community effort, so everybody is with us. Everybody can join the herd. So if you visit the website at the bottom of the page, you can subscribe to our newsletter, get all of our updates. That is totally free. We're not just here to sell people things. But we are here to make a difference, to build community, and to teach through everything that we do, to educate.
Educate.
The beauty of what we've started building is we can teach other entrepreneurs how to start their own lifestyle and apparel brands. We can teach other entrepreneurs how to start their own coffee brands, right? We have investors who are just everyday people from a vast array of different lifestyles and socioeconomic statuses, right? But we have over 136 investors in our startup, right? And they're all in it with us. So we're just doing things that build community, that give back in different ways. Next Friday, February 24th, we will be in Philadelphia in person.
Yes, indeed. Come on.
Now, I'm in Philly. I'm made in Philadelphia. I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
Sir Bass.
Hey, we taking that flight.
is pulling up from Texas. We got Alex is coming from DC. Cam is coming from DC.
Oh, come on.
Right. So it's going to be a great night. But we have a networking event with entrepreneurs and investors. So we have a panel of all Black investors, whether that be in venture capital, small business lending, or real estate. Those will all be represented on the panel. And we'll have plenty of time, good food, just to connect, learn about what's going on in the Philly ecosystem, and support local entrepreneurs. That is what it's all about. So I'm excited. And the QR code is up. If you scan that QR code, it'll take you to our Eventbrite, and you can join us for free. Free event, limited seating is available. So if you are in the area, be sure to RSVP sooner rather than later.
We will have food.
We will have food.
Yes.
We will have food. And maybe we have some coffee to give away. Why not? Why not? But KG, thank you for tuning in. KG is another one of our great investors. Shout out to Scott as well.
Yes, indeed. Anthony,
our community is amazing. Truly amazing. And then I will close with this. So actually next week is a busy week. So on Wednesday, I'm heading to DC, and BVP Coffee Co. will have a table set up at the Gathering Spot in DC. Gathering Spot is a Black-owned co-working space. If anyone tuning in is a member at the Gathering Spot, please stop by. Please come and support. We're going to be selling 1867. We're going to have 1867 in stock. Just put in an order specifically for next week, because we've got a tabling event on Wednesday in DC. Thursday back in Philly, we're going to be at Venture Cafe at a Black business extravaganza expo. So we'll have a table there set up, selling coffee there as well. And then Friday, again, still in Philly, entrepreneur and investor networking event. So very, very busy week, but all good stuff. We appreciate everyone for just setting up different opportunities for us to win. That's it. We are only here because you all are there for us.
Yes, indeed.
Just like the quote earlier, right? We are because you are. I am because we are. And they were. And we will be. However it goes. It's something like that. But we appreciate you.
Benediction Barry. Let's get Benediction.
I gotta be Barry now.
No, I just realized I just called this man Gary on live. That's crazy. Anyway,
it's the B. It's the hat. I'm telling you, it's the hat.
Man.
It's the hat, because yes, people think I'm B.
Hey,
He's
go
B.
ahead and hit him with the rebrand, man.
Hit him with the rebrand. Listen, the B stands for billions.
Johnson. Yeah. Hey, let them know what the B stands for.
Yeah, the B stands for billions. We are out here doing the thing. We are still investing in startups and small businesses. So if anybody does happen to see a deal that you're interested in and you want us to review live, we do that as well. So a lot of great things are in store. We appreciate you all for tuning in. B-Bass, do you have a benediction for us? Any parting words to close out the night?
Parting words to close out the night. I don't know. I always have a heart to talk to other entrepreneurs. So sometimes I feel like we can get scared and we don't know, hey, what to do, or we have the fear of failure and it's like it just won't right, or you just want to make it perfect. Drop it. Start it. Do it. Whatever it is, just get it out there. And I say this as I'm speaking to myself, like, bro, you just gotta go for it. Because I think sometimes we always want to have like the greatest plan or the greatest strategy and go get it. And you've been in spots where you've been more strategic and more intelligent within a space. But sometimes when you just need to get started, you just have to go. And obviously myself, I look through everything of eyes of fitness. Just get to the gym. Get to the gym. You ain't got to do nothing crazy. Show up to them, touch a weight, go back home. But at least you started, you did something. So I would say that in whatever space you're trying to do or trying to get in, just start. It's the only way you get there.
Just get started. Yes. Right on. All right. More good stuff to come. But every week, Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern, we are here around the herd. Visit the website at the bottom of the screen there, www.bv.partners, to subscribe to our newsletter and to be notified of all the latest and greatest happenings. We hope you enjoyed today's show, and we look forward to seeing you next time around the herd. Have a good night, everyone.
See y'all.
Bye-bye.